Hi, this is Chris Jones with SaaSier.com, and in this video we're going to demonstrate our shipping module for OpenERP 7. So what we've done is we've added the ability to ship through UPS, FedEx, and USPS through EasyPost.com. EasyPost has an API that we connect to, so you'll basically sign up for an account through them. You put in your account information for what different carriers, and they also support a number of other carriers. USPS, FedEx, DHL, OnTrack, Lone Star, GSO, a number of other carriers, and we can support any of these. So what happens is you put your information in with EasyPost, and then you put your API key inside of our module, and we also support Stamps.com, so we do a direct API connection there. So if you want to ship USPS, you can either do it through Stamps or you can do it through EasyPost, and I'll show you some of the differences. So first thing we did is we integrated this into the delivery orders area, and you'll see some new things on the left here: shipping queue, shipping label, shipping exceptions, and I'll walk through those. So here we've got a new delivery order. This was imported through a Magento connector. So what I can see here is it will tell me my USPS, what method was selected through Magento, and we could go ahead and select that here, and we could choose whatever option we wanted. For example, if I wanted to do a medium flat rate box, I can do check availability. I can come in here to the shipping calculator if I like, and then we have an option here called split orders warehouse wise, and this allows us, if we're dealing with an order, let's say we had maybe 3 lines on it, and one of the sales order lines or delivery order lines came from one warehouse and the other came from a different warehouse. So this way we could split it, and it would then take a single delivery order and it would split it into multiple delivery orders, each one intended for a different warehouse. 3D bin packing is another API that we've integrated with. And what this allows is the automatic selection of boxes based upon the size of the boxes you have available and the size of the products that you have. So they've got an API that you can see again as 3D bin packing. So you would sign up through them. You would take your API key. You would put it into our module. So let's go ahead and edit this order. And now if we come into the order, basically this idea here is that we've got different packs, and a pack is something that's built into OpenERP, but what we've done is we've basically tied together the idea of a pack and a box. So a pack is a box, is a shipping label. So if I wanted this order to be, let's say that this was quantity 5, and that represented 5 different boxes, and I put one item in each box, what would happen is that if I came in here and I could specify which item went into which boxes. So right now we can go ahead and just put this into a new pack. And if we come into that pack now, we can see some additional options. So I've got this box setup. And box setup is where I can select which box I want to put it in. Now if it's USPS flat rate, then we've already selected the box just by the shipping method we've chosen, so it's not required here. But if we're going to ship through UPS ground or FedEx ground, they're now requiring the dimensions. And this is where we can specify which one we want. So for example, I could come in here and say I want the 12 by 12 by 12 box. And I can come in here and I can see where I can set all the settings for it. So I can put in my height, width, length, and the weight is the weight of the box empty. So when it does the final weight calculation, it's going to take the weight of each individual product, and it's going to combine it with the weight of the empty box, and then you're going to have your final weight that's sent to the carrier. So this is a very simple one. We don't need to select a box setup because we're just going to do USPS priority mail with a flat rate box, so that's not required. So here I'm going to go ahead and save my order, and I'm going to add it to the shipping queue. So you can see here when I tried to add to the shipping queue, it's enforcing because we have in here that we require lot numbers on outbound shipments. The module is going to enforce that before it lets us put it into the shipping queue. So we'll go ahead and come in here, and we're going to select the serial number. So we could come in here, we could select a certain serial number, and we probably need to do is select the appropriate warehouse, we select our serial number, and then we can go ahead and save it. Let's show you shipping calculator. So shipping calculator, if you don't put anything in that box setup, it doesn't know what the dimensions of the product are, so it's not going to send it over to UPS. If you did put in a box, then it might return those options. So you'll see here, this is where it's returning my different, it's only returning the UPS options where we've got a box provided by the carrier. If it's your own box and you want to compare it UPS ground versus, let's say, USPS priority flat rate, you'd have to go into that box setup and put a box in so that it knows the dimensions, because you need dimensions before you can get a price from UPS. So we've got all of our different rates here. So for example, maybe I'm like, you know what, I could fit this in a regional box. I could fit this in a regional box A. So I want to do that because you know, that's a little bit cheaper. It's $9.97 versus $10.65. So you could do that. So let's go to add to shipping queue. So we come back over here to the shipping queue. Take off our filter. And we could have, you know, one order, we could have 10 orders in here. So we've just got one, and I'm doing a real live order right now. So we're going to go ahead and just select this order, and we're going to go ahead and come up here to more, and we're going to say generate shipping label. This point, this is doing a live connection to EasyPost, who is going to connect to the Postal Service. And if it leaves the shipping queue, we know that it's good. We come over here to shipping label, and what this will do is each shipment, so you can see some of these we might have had a half dozen or a dozen different shipments that went together. So you'll see all the different shipments combined, and it combines it into a single label. So we're going to open it up here. And you'll see this WorldShip CSV and data pack. This is another option we can do where we can export a WorldShip compatible CSV or one for data pack. If you didn't want to do the label through here and you wanted it to go straight to WorldShip and do it through there, we have a way to do that, but we'll discuss that in another video. So right here we've got our label. You can see it says, is label printed? So as soon as I come in and I open the record, it's going to change the flag from label created to label printed. Basically just means that I've gone in here and I've opened up the file. So I can see my different, if there's multiple delivery orders, I'll see them all listed here. And if I say print packing slip, it's going to give me a PDF file. And we can open up this PDF file and we'll see the shipping label, we'll see the packing slip. The QR code we have here is tied to another module we have where we can use a mobile app. We can scan the QR code and we can assign serial numbers. We can assign actual serial numbers using QR code. But again, that's for another video. So we've got here, and this template we've used, we support different templates. This particular template here is using a really cool label from a company called Duplex Pack Slip. And what these guys do is they've got a, and you can go to their website, duplexpackslip.com.
Placed an order with you.
And what they do is they've got this label where it prints on both sides. So one side is your shipping label, the back side is your packing slip, and the customer can then peel off a little section and the packing slip is revealed and they can pull it out. So it's a really real nice, quick way to do shipping labels. Okay, so we've got our shipping label, and you can see now it says, is label printed? It's checked it off. So as soon as I click print packing slip, and we do that so that you can keep track of what you've printed and not double print and double ship orders, which does happen. So you can see up here now is label printed. So let's go back here to our delivery orders, and let's look at this one. Okay, so the label status, so the status of the shipment, you can see that we've added a whole bunch of different statuses than the standard OpenERP. Standard OpenERP has basically draft, waiting for operation, not processed, ready to process, and delivered. Those are all the different options that those are all the different options that are built into it. So what we've done is we've added in some additional options here. So you can see we're at the state of label created. We could have been at the state of shipping queue. And then you'll see in transit, out for delivery, exception, or delivered. We're getting these updates through EasyPost. So what EasyPost will do is they will actually push through a webhook we have. Every time there is a tracking update for a shipment, they will push it back to basically a webhook listener we have running on the server. It's a little standalone application that runs outside of OpenERP. And what it will do is that little application will receive the tracking code from EasyPost, and it will come in here and it will automatically update the tracking information. Or you could always come in here, you could click on the tracking information, you can see it's not found because we just created it. Let me show you that on another one here. So here's an order that says in transit. So as soon as the status of this order changes from out for delivery, EasyPost will push the update to our system. We will update this record automatically. Sometimes it gets stuck, the update doesn't come through. You can always click more, update label status, and it will recheck and re-update, and you can see there's no change on it. So we can scroll down and you can see we've got other ones that are out for delivery, delivered, pre-transit. So what's nice about this is I can do reports. So on my left here I can go to shipping exceptions, and I can see if there's some different exceptions in here. So I can see, for example, that I've got some older order here that was marked as exception. Maybe I want to do is come up here, update label status, see if anything changed, and then maybe I need to contact the carrier. Or I can see this was a voided shipment. It's like, okay, great, I'm not worried about that, it's a voided shipment. So you'll see also if we come back here to delivery orders that some things are in red. So if you're wondering what's in red, anything that's more than 3 days old that has not been picked up by the carrier is automatically going to be marked as, that's automatically going to be marked in red. So it's just a way for you to visually see that, hey, you've got a shipment here that has that's not been picked up yet, and 3 days has gone by. You may want to look into it, right? Okay, so what might happen is you might come in here and say, well, let me update the label, make sure that in fact it is kind of running behind. Another status you've noticed in here is called label sent. So what label sent is, let me see if I can show you an order. Let's go in here to one of the label sent. This won't necessarily apply to all of you, but what we've done here is we've got a company called DFW Distribution that's also running OpenERP and using the shipping module. And what we've done is we've integrated this company, Animal Element, in with DFW Distribution because some shipments go through that warehouse company and some are fulfilled locally by Animal Element, part of that split warehouse. So what this allowed us to do is to actually come in here and set the company that's going to receive it. What it will do is it will then take this delivery order right here, and we'll just log into we can log into their system. We'll just have to use another browser. And what we can do is we can log in and we can see that this shipment was received by them, and they're going to go ahead and ship the order out for us. So I'll give you a little demo of that. So what on their side, they're also running the EasyPost thing, so they could take the order, they could send it through EasyPost, they could send it through So let's see here. We've got a delivery order, and we've got this delivery order 2656. And when we log into these guys, we can come in here to warehouse, we can come into delivery orders. We can see we've got order 6544, so if we do a search for 6544, we can see the order here, and we can see how that order was sent from this one server over to the other server, where they will then process the shipment. You can see it's in the shipping queue on their side. Once they've shipped it, it will take the tracking number from their database. It will push it back over to this database so that we can continue to track these orders and make sure that they're all shipped out. Let me go back and show a couple other things. So that box setup. So this is used if you want to manually apply a box to a shipment, but you can also use that 3D bin packing, and it will automatically pick it. So let me take you to their website and just sort of show you visually what's happening. So we use a function through them called multi-bin packing. So let's say, for example, we've got, you can see in our system under box setup, we had like 5 different boxes. We had like 5 different boxes that we did. So you can see, we'll punch in some of these in the system so you can kind of see what's happening. So we'll just take a box that's 12 by 12 by 12. 12 by 12 by 12. And the weight here is actually the maximum weight the box will handle, which is, you know, usually some sort of a high number like that. So we'll come back over here. We've got a 6 by 6 by 3. And we'll just do one more example after this. And let's say that box holds 25 pounds. And we've got one more in here. We've got a 20 by 5 by 5. Let's see here, 20 by 5 by 5. And who knows, maybe that holds 35 pounds. And then we've got some items over here. And so we take the box setup information from OpenERP and we feed it into their API, and then we take the products that are in the delivery order. So in a particular delivery order, we may have a certain product, and then if I open up that product, and if I have the dimensions specified for the product, for example, if I had them put in here, if I have the weight, the length, width, height, then we will pass that information to 3D bin packing. So let's say we just had this one order, and we let's just check off that, remove an item, and we've got just the one product. Let's say that the dimensions on this were 10 by well, let's keep it simple. Let's say that it's like 5 by 5 by 3, and let's just say I have one of these. Make it real simple. And what does it weigh? Let's say it weighs 10 pounds, and then we pack it. So what this is returning to OpenERP is basically it's returning and saying, this is the best box that you have. And it will basically, what we do is we select the box with the highest percentage taken. Because why use a large box and have it be mostly empty? So you can see is that it basically said, well, this item's 5 by 5 by 3. It will fit in the 6 by 6 by 3 box just fine. But let's say they didn't order one. Let's say they ordered 4 of these. Well, 4 of those we can tell, you can already tell 4 of those is not going to fit in the 6 by 6 by 3 box. It's not going to happen. So here it selected and said, okay, of all the available boxes that you have, if you wanted to fit those 4 items, the only box you've got that's going to fit in is going to be the 12 by 12 by 12 box. It's going to be 40 pounds, so that's under the maximum 75. And we can see that the weight taken uses 53, and the space taken is 17. So this is something where you're like, well, you know what? Maybe I need to be getting some different box sizes. But let's go ahead and say that this was a little bit bigger. If that was, let's say, 9 inches. We can see how that changes things. So right now, we're not taking the images from 3D bin packing and putting it into OpenERP. The reason is that I don't think it's really useful. Most people in a warehouse know how to pack a box. It's something they do for a living. I don't think we really need to show them exactly where you need to put the things at. It's something we can pull and we can easily put into OpenERP to show, or tie it into a mobile app so they could see it. I just find that talking to people that it's a bit unnecessary. One more thing we can also do is we can pack a box according to what we call case. So sometimes things are packed in a case. So somebody might order, let's say, I'll give you an example here with this company. So we've got a product here. And this product, if we can sell it by the single item, but if somebody ordered 3 of them, they come from the manufacturer here, packed 3 to a box. So we've added this option in here called packaging, which we took from, you'll see, originally the sales tab, it was under here where you can define quantity by package. We've moved it over to this packaging tab. So if you define something in here, and we've defined that there are 3 of these items in a box, and I could choose, if I wanted to, what box it comes predefined in. So what will happen here is if somebody orders 3 of these, it's going to automatically, I'll show you an example. We'll make a delivery order. So we've defined that we've got 3 of those in a box. So let's go ahead and create we'll go ahead and just create a order here. We're going to add in, and we're going to say that we've got, let's say we have 6. So the order came in for 6 of these. So if I come in here and I say package products, you'll see it automatically split it into 2 different packs. Each pack, because it's following that rule, and it says we know there's 3 of these per, so if someone ordered 6, we know we need to put it into 2 boxes. It automatically gave us a pack, and if we come into the pack now, then what can happen is again, if we have it all set up properly, we can have it automatically select the box. So whatever box we assign to that pack, this way the dimensions are pre-selected, everything is pre-selected. So the way we do the packing, sort of the priority, is packaged products happens first, and then if there is no rule for a product, then we fire it over to 3D bin packing, and then they decide. Well, so what will happen here is, remember when we came to 3D bin packing, if it fits in 1 box or if it had to fit in multiple boxes, so you can see if I had, for example, 20 items, this is where it can tell us, how many items I can put in each box. So it's going to basically say is, well, we've got 20. That means you're going to have 7 in this first box. You're going to have box 0. You're going to have 7 in there. You're going to put 7 again in that box, and you're going to put 6 in a final box. So we would take this, if this example we had here were 20 items, and it would split it into 3 different lines. This is assuming we didn't have a rule. So there's no rule in the system that says there's 3 each, and we just ordered 20. So the system would look and say, there's no rule, so let's throw it over to 3D bin packing and see if they can figure it out. They may have responded back and said, we can use these 3 boxes, we can put this many in each, and what we will see in here is we would see 7, 7, and 6, and inside of the pack, it would already have selected the appropriate box setup. So whatever box fit would have already been pre-selected in there. And I don't have that turned on in this particular database, so I'm not showing it live, but that's up and working, and that's how that connects through. And see if there's any other last things. A couple things we're looking to add into it is the ability to just to create shipping labels sort of that aren't tied to delivery orders. So if I just wanted a shipping label, just a plain one, maybe I just want to send something to someone. It's not really tied to an order. Just the ability to create manual labels pretty easily. We're going to add in that option. And also, I think another option would be adding in adding in freight carriers. So that's another thing we would like to do, is do further integration with companies like freightquote.com, Red Eagle, some of these companies that have connections to a lot of different carriers, or just do direct connections to carriers. A lot of these larger freight companies, like Old Dominion Freight Lines, companies like that have got APIs that can be connected to. So this module could be further extended to that. If you've been looking at the screen carefully here, you might have noticed another option down here called carrier billing. This is another video we'll be showing where we have the ability to upload your UPS billing CSV files. We tie those back to delivery order records, and then we basically allow you to audit your UPS bill. So what that means is you'll be able to see what each shipment actually cost you, how much it cost on the sales order, and then how much UPS actually billed you for it. We're working on tying it in to where if a shipment is late, we can flag that shipment in your bill, And this way you can go back to UPS and say, hey, that shipment was delivered late. I should get a refund for it. We also allow you to put in all of your pricing agreements, all the pricing agreement information, all of your discount levels, all of those type of things. And, that's then tied in to where we figure out is, you can see portfolio, tier incentives, your electronic PLD bonuses. So you're going to put all that information in, and then basically we're going to calculate what the shipment should have cost. And if there's a discrepancy, we flag it, allow you to go back to UPS again and say, hey, you misbilled me for these shipments, or these shipments were late, or these shipments were never delivered. I should get a refund for those. Again, we'll do a separate video, and this is still a project that's about, that's probably about 80% finished. And this will then be also part of this shipping module. But right now it's just for UPS. Doesn't really apply to USPS. And also FedEx would have a different process. So we could look at building something like this for FedEx. So that's it. That's a pretty deep dive into the SaaSier OpenERP shipping module. Thanks for watching.